rightly decided that Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act violated its Constitution. Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act is an act that requires states to ask for pre-clearance if they want to change voting laws and requirements, especially for areas that have a history of discrimination. Contention 1. The Voting Rights Act violates the concept of federalism, therefore violating the 10th Amendment. One of the Supreme Court's many jobs is to interpret laws and decide if they're constitutionally correct. The Voting Rights Act is not. The 10th Amendment states that the states all powers that are not granted to the federal government by the Constitution, except for those powers that states are constitutionally forbidden from exercising. In other words, federalism. By taking away states' rights to create their own election laws, you are taking away balance between state and federal governments. Voter turnout and registration rates in covered jurisdictions now approach parity. Blatantly discriminatory evasions of federal decrees are rare, and minority candidates hold office at unprecedented levels. Section 4B of the Voting Rights Act violates the 10th Amendment in Article 6. It says an article of the Cornell Law. It is unfair to treat the South any different than other regions in the U.S. 68.7% of African Americans were registered to vote by the 2008 election, and the turnout numbers were also impressive. By 2008, there were 41 members of the Congressional Black Caucus. Almost 600 African Americans held seats in state legislatures, and another 8,800 were mayors, sheriffs, school board members, etc. The South, just like other regions, has African American officials and should not be treated differently because of how they were 50 years ago. Section 2's case-by-case enforcement is the fairest means to prevent discrimination and protect states' rights, according to Ali Shapiro, Senior Fellow in Constitutional Studies at the Cato Institute. Given Section 5's burdens, its conflict with Section 2 should be resolved in favor of the latter. In giving aggrieved litigants a private right of action, Section 2 provides the appropriate means for enforcing the 15th Amendment and remedying state practices that result in a denial or abridgment of voting rights. The private right is a targeted remedy, empowering citizens to litigate specific discrimination. In contrast to Section 5's broad sweep, which ensnares every voting change, no matter how minuscule or banal. The VRA violates the equal protection of the law. The Voting Rights Act quite literally denies the equal protection of the laws by providing legal guarantees to some racial groups that denies others. For example, a minority group may be entitled to a racially gerrymandered district, while other groups are not so entitled and indeed may lack protection against districting that hurts them. This is nothing if not treating people differently based on race. Under the Constitution, no racial group should be assured safe districts or districts of influence unless all other groups are given the same guarantee, an impossibility even if we're a good idea. For these reasons, Judge, we urge you to vote for the pro ballot.